This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Okay, you guys. So finally, after way too long, I went to the gynecologist.
Oh my God, girl. Girl,
Finger
it's
snaps.
literally, yes. Snaps all the way
Cassie
around.
was about to take me by the ear.
I was.
Drag me in. She was going to be my mom, make an appointment.
In the car.
Yeah.
Buckle you in.
Yeah. It needed to happen. I'm just one of those people who I'm just it's fine. You know,
Just walk it off.
I'll just muscle through the debilitating pain I have every month. It's fine. Who
It's
cares?
me walking off my asthma for my entire 40 some years of living.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. But it was a really good experience. And I'm excited to start the, stuff that she's going to put me on to hopefully help deal with my situation.
Yeah.
And I love that, I have a female doctor, and I know we've talked a lot about that's not a guarantee that you're going to get a good gynecologist just because they're a woman.
Yeah.
But I did love that. Just no questions, believed me completely about everything that I said, and was you don't have to live this way. Here are some options. If this doesn't work for you, come back. There's a million things we can try. So it was really nice. But
what a good feeling.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. And even though I could tell she was trying to get me in and out of there, because it's Kaiser. They're they're seeing a million people.
Right.
I knew that she was trying to get me in and out of there. She still listened to everything I had to say.
That's really good.
I will say, I forgot how awkward it is when you're at the gynecologist and they're talking to you and
from
you are
your vagina?
naked from the waist down.
Yeah.
Just bare ass.
I had a jokey gyno once.
No.
That
I don't
was
want
not
that.
fun.
I don't want that at all.
I don't know if I love that.
I'm not in a laughy mood when, I'm getting my cervix scraped. So
Okay. So I'm here in my thoughts because I'm I had a gynecologist, and that was the guy who was my gynecologist through the surrogacy.
Right.
And he was a bit jovial, and I tended to like it only because it was such a, it was an ordeal.
Right.
Yeah.
It was an ordeal. And honestly, it was an ordeal all the way through T to B.
A real Patch Adams situation.
He wasn't quite that obnoxious.
He's wearing a clown nose.
But it's funny because it's funny because when you have somebody like that who is light with you for a lot of things, when they're serious, he was deadly serious.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of know. When his tone changed, it helped me kind of understand the severity of certain situations.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was incredible. So, at the same time, not only did he have what I would consider pretty good bedside manner and was light, but he was also the guy who stood in there with me in my emergency surgery, petting my head as I went in and out of consciousness just to remind me where I was at.
It's so important when you have doctors who seem like they actually give a shit about you.
Yeah.
It's truly really important because I was nervous and I hadn't had a pap smear in so long that if it had been a bad experience, it would have been really would have informed what I was going to do moving forward. I'm glad that it was a good experience. But what I really wanted to talk about was, like I said, haven't been to the gyno in far too long.
Right.
The nervousness I felt leading up to it, we had talked a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, about shaving and it's so itchy and it's terrible. And I was I cannot, which they don't care.
They don't.
They do not give a
see
shit.
Everything.
They see a million vaginas every day. They do not give a fuck if you are groomed right?
Yeah.
But I was no.
Yeah,
I
gotta take care of the girl.
Get the situation taken care of. I'm going to present her to a stranger, right? So, but I didn't want to shave because I'm like, man, I really hate that like itchy feeling.
Tanned skin. I'm telling you.
I know. I'm gonna
tanned skin.
And you're not the only one who's recommended that.
For everybody who is listening, if you have bad ingrown hairs, this is the spa that I used to work at years ago. They used to sell it to everybody, and the reviews on Amazon, wow.
Yeah, and like you're not the only one who's reached out to tell me that.
No, I wish we're giving them free advertising. We need to get an affiliate link set up or
Listen,
something.
it's not that expensive either, so it's like
promo code worst date.
My worst date. Yeah.
Get a little Amazon storefront set up.
Seriously.
But my dumbass was like, you know what I'm going to do?
Oh, no.
I'm going to go buy a sugaring kit.
Oh,
honey
bunny.
And I watched the videos.
No.
I watched the videos on Ulta and I was like, this can't be that hard.
I can do this.
It can't be that difficult.
I want you to know that.
that is the same thing I did when I bought a home relaxer kit
Oh, God.
in 6th grade.
Girl, burn the shit out of your scalp. You sure will.
Ma'am.
I bet it did dick all too. Huh?
No, hair broke off.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Literally, like right above my ear, and for like a whole year, I looked like a little Dutch boy.
Oh no.
I'm so
Little
sorry.
Lord Fauntleroy over
my
here.
God.
It was so bad.
But so I got this sugaring kit. And I was like, you don't have to heat it up, right? Like, 'cause it's like putty. Like, you're supposed to like work it, and then like you apply it, and then you're just like you pull it off. And
My face right now.
I'm in the bathroom trying to like sugar myself, having just like
You can't pull hard enough because it hurts so bad.
Fucking time. And listen, like I figured it out. Like I eventually like I wrapped my bottom half in a towel, took the kit. By the way, that shit is messy as hell. Took it to the like kitchen, heated it up a little bit because I'm like, it's got to get softer.
It's gotta,
like,
yeah.
And
yeah.
I had to use the strips. I couldn't use just like whatever thing. I was like, I got to use these strips because I think it's the only way I'm going to manage. And I did figure out a rhythm to like getting it, but I could not get. Listen,
my face right now.
I'm
so
like literally
sweating. I'm literally sweating right now.
I was in my bathroom, like I got the whole top part done.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, that's okay. But the lips and everything beneath the undercarriage.
The transmission.
Could not do it, man. I was trying to like hike my leg up, trying to get like warm sugar wax. Like, like, you know,
crevasse.
in the crevasse. Yeah. And it was just not working. I had to take a bath afterwards because I was just like, first of all, I have to get all this sticky sugar off of me.
Right.
And then I was just like, I still had to shave. You know what? It was worth it for the top part because like it's not grown back, you know, in a good serious way.
Nice.
So I'm like, that's great. But yeah, I still had to shave like everything from like booty hole forward to the top of the lip.
Oh my God.
Because I just couldn't. People who wax themselves at home, what are you made of?
Brutal.
Like,
Honestly,
you are
brutal.
built different because like getting
Amazonian.
the lip,
Listen, my legs.
fine.
Oh, yeah.
Underarms. I actually am growing out my underarm hair because I'm like, I think I can handle it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on my underarms.
Yeah.
But like
The actual lip itself, no.
Is
No.
and you know, I think I could do the underside, but I can't see it. So it's just
Right.
messy.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
a weird question. So, like, you guys actually grow hair on the lip part?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the actual lips. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How's it feel to be
I
God's
know.
favorite?
No, please.
Always, Cassie's like, I don't grow hair on my booty. I don't grow hair on my lips.
Have you seen how much cellulite I have, though? I mean, we can't win every trophy. Okay, like,
Oh my gosh.
I didn't.
Dude,
listen, I can't wear
My
normal tampons. Okay, I can't listen.
From
It's
my-
not
You
all,
win some, you lose some.
That's exactly right.
the freaking like around the lips and towards the booty, and it's always like so fucking hairy and so long too.
Well, because sometimes you miss patches.
Yes,
Like,
and then you have like
sometimes-
one random like
Yeah.
stragglers like whoop.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait till you get old enough where they start turning gray.
Don't talk to me about that.
No.
Do
Yeah.
not talk to
I'm
me
not
about
ready
it.
for that yet.
I cannot handle
It's
it.
been for me.
Girl, you grade early everywhere. That's kind of like
no one tells you that you go gray.
Girl, did you not watch that Sex and the City? Where
I thought it was a joke.
Oh no,
I thought it was a joke. I was like, nobody. I'm like, you don't lose.
When I have the money to get laser hair, look, I will not see a single gray hair because I'm lasering the shit off before that ever happens.
It's just like it didn't happen for me. It's weird.
It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Never happened.
God.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. But I think I am just gonna be a big girl. And I'm not wasteful. I'm still from the Midwest, so I'm gonna use the rest of this sugar.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But after that's gone, I'm gonna be a big girl and just go pay somebody to
Just get rid of it.
handle my situation. Just
it's worth it.
Pay someone to wax it for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Save your money and do the lasering. Just do it.
Yeah,
Just
I
do
know.
it. That's what you want to do anyway.
I know. I just know it's
wasting
gonna
your time.
take like so many rounds because I have such like dark, thick hair.
But you're the
then
best
you're
candidate
done.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, then you're
Yeah.
done. You
When
don't
you're
have
done,
to
you're
fuck
done.
around. If I had the money, man, like God, I would be irresponsible as
Oh,
fuck.
man.
Like if I had the money,
This is why I don't have money.
That's
whole
true.
body's getting lasered.
Yeah.
Everything, every unwanted hair, every hair out of place is getting zapped the fuck off. I don't want to
just-
deal with one more piece of hair.
I just want to bring up a little point that we've on this podcast said how good we would be if we would
I know we would
a lot of money.
Well, we would do both. We could do both.
Yeah,
You
why not
can do both. Why not both?
Yeah, why
Why not both? Yeah.
But, yeah.
Look,
Start a
I
nonprofit,
deserve something for myself.
Laser my
okay?
vagina.
Yeah. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore.
That's the title.
Okay.
Start a nonprofit.
Laser your vagina. Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny because it was a whole ordeal of me like trying to sugar my hair off, and then for
What do you
my
think?
gynecologist.
It's so
your
funny. It's like,
gynecologist.
what do you think? Like, she's gonna look down there. She's gonna be like,
Ooh, really
This is-
impressive.
right, you did an amazing
the
job.
best vagina I have seen.
Ever. This is beautiful.
Very
I did.
nice job. Did you sugar this yourself?
Exactly. Like she does not give a single fuck
No.
at all.
Never
but I was
say
like,
anything.
and then
I'll
of
be
course I
honest.
woke up that next morning. I'd taken a bath the night before, but still, like I woke up that next morning and I was like, gotta take another shower. Gotta make sure everything's like real nice and clean. It takes her all of like 5 minutes to do the
Feels
actual
very
exam.
Pisces. It's
Yes.
trying to people
being
please your
considerate.
gyno.
Gynecologist, exactly. Oh my god, my ass is like I haven't shaved since the 90s.
It is what it is.
No, I'm just kidding.
Get up in there.
I'm the Miranda of this group. I'm like, fuck it.
I don't want to be judged. I feel
I
like,
know.
she's a human being. She has to have opinions, even if she doesn't say them.
Right.
I think
That's true.
I think of it in the way I think about my job, right? There's hair things that I like to do better than others. I've seen better heads of hair than others, but I don't judge one person's head of hair against another client's of mine.
Yeah.
Like I never think about another client's head of hair when I'm doing the client in my chair.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm only looking for things that are maladies for their own situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have like dandruff, or you have this situation, you're curlier in the back than the top, or what, whatever those things are. I don't ever compare notes to the person prior or the person after, because I think that I'm only focused on that person's situation.
I always think whenever I go to the gyno, at least I'm not the person in the chair that's like had a tampon stuck up there for like 2 weeks or something.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
the way that nightmare comes to me in the middle of the night, like if I never had that specifically. I mean, I've had the sex where we like, oh shit,
Where
You thought
where did
you
it
hadn't
go?
taken it.
no, we didn't, and it was like took a minute.
It was in there?
Oh yeah, we had to
Oh my God.
get
Fish
a
it
fish
out.
and
That
pull out.
scares
Yeah,
the shit out of me. I did get nervous one time because I think what had happened was that I'd had a tampon in, and then I had like used the restroom because I'm not like Cassie. I don't have to take my tampon out every time I pee. So I think it had come out on its own and I didn't know. And
so
so
you
then
were
I was
like,
like, where is
that has
it?
happened to me too.
Yeah. So
That has
later on,
happened
I
to
was
me
like, where
too.
the fuck is it? It's not in there. My gynecologist would have said something.
Yeah,
So
I would hope. Yeah,
and it was a long time ago, so
Yeah.
I don't have toxic shock.
Yeah.
But I was really concerned.
Dude, the way that
Toxic
shock syndrome used
Yes.
to scare the fuck
Shit.
out of me when I was like 12,
yeah,
13.
It was the scariest thing that could happen
And
to
it's
you.
so rare. Like
It is pretty rare,
it's
but it
pretty
is still
rare.
pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
'Cause-
it is rare. We did an episode on it for Your Angry Neighborhood Feminist, and like there was a like scare campaign for women about
Yeah.
toxic shock
Yeah.
syndrome. I don't know.
Like, who benefited from that scare?
Yeah, I'm like, where's the money?
Yeah.
Like,
Big tampon. They want to make sure.
Big pad. It was big pad. They were like, don't use tampons. You can't. You're going, y'all gonna get some that.
Yeah, or they want to make sure you're changing your tampon every, like, they're like, you have to change it every hour.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
So you have to buy more tampons because it's like, you
there
can't.
you go.
Period panties, man.
Oh,
that's the way to
fucking
go.
Men. Dude, I will never go back.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? It's the best fucking thing I've ever done in my entire fucking
cramps.
life.
I didn't realize how bad tampons increase your cramps.
I'm telling you right now, I have not used a tampon like as far as like a regular basis period for probably this entire year.
Yeah.
I've gone strictly pad and period panties, and I mean, on occasion I'll do a tampon if need, like once or twice or whatever, but like almost
when you're running through a field, or
obviously
anything that they're doing in those tampon commercials where they're like, "Are you doing spin class?" I'm like, "No, I'm fucking throwing up on my bathroom floor.
I'm having my period."
Yeah, like what are you talking about? I'm curled up with a heating pad in my
I'm
bed,
eating microwave popcorn
with extra butter, bitch. Don't you judge me?
Yeah. I'm on my like 5th Midol. I'm not fucking doing any of that shit.
But you could with period underwear.
Yeah.
And it's better for the environment too. I mean,
exactly.
like, I just don't feel like I'm a cup candidate. And I know that people are
I've tried it and it is
messy.
For me it was very messy.
Yeah.
The second I spilled onto my hand was the last time
it ain't for me.
I said nope. I know it's natural. I know it's body. I like logically I
hear you.
I
Right.
hear it. But in my heart, I was
It's
like,
not for me.
It's not for me. Yeah. No.
I will live and die by the period panty. I'm so insanely mad that I didn't have this sooner in my life. It is literally
well, hopefully we're passing the message on now. Yeah, definitely. Promo code My Worst Date.
Honestly, we should reach out to Thinks or
I
whatever.
know.
And
Honestly,
like, hey.
we've talked about it on the podcast before.
True.
Now that we've lost all the male listeners, does anyone want to say anything?
Let's talk about the revolution. Oh, man.
They're gone. Ladies.
This one's for the ladies.
Oh, my God. I mean, we have talked about shaving and periods quite a bit. But look, this is my everyday life. This is what it is.
This is what being a woman is.
What we think about.
Yep.
This is what having a period is.
Well, I have something to transition to Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
We started talking about last week that I've been thinking about all week was the goth like
guys,
anti-heroes that we used to love, like
It was
Beetlejuice,
very much a time.
Edward Scissorhands.
It's the late 90s, early aughts. The Crow. I know.
Yeah. A goth sad boy was my favorite, which I feel like the Crow and Edward Scissorhands both fall in the goth sad boy category.
Yes.
Beetlejuice less so, because he's a little bit of like a funny guy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Campier.
Yeah. I mean,
It's still goth.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
It's
definitely
like
goth
anything.
energy.
Yeah.
Anybody who's wearing like a thick black and white striped suit is like, that's some serious goth energy.
I think it was Lydia probably that was the most goth in that scenario.
Definitely.
But the show itself.
The way I wanted to be Winona Ryder when I was
Are you
younger.
kidding? Heathers.
Yes.
Fucking
Edward
Beetlejuice,
Scissorhands again.
Edward Scissorhands. All I ever wanted was to be Winona Ryder. And then she grew up and stole shit, even though she had money, and it pissed me off. No,
Look, man, sometimes you have to do something just to make you feel alive.
Oh, that's right. She's got that dead girl energy.
Yeah, I gotta do something. But like, I had the biggest crush on Edward Scissorhands. There was something about just like a depressed.
I'm gonna say it. If of these three, the least for me.
Well, it's not convenient.
I don't need the competition.
True. Yeah. I mean, his haircut's questionable. Yeah. To be honest.
I'm not gonna
but
sugarcoat that.
You would save so much money on like lawn work, lawn care.
Truly.
Certainly. And he has like a whole castle too.
This is true.
To himself.
A little fixer-upper.
It's a little bit of a fixer-upper, but you know what? I feel like we could put some elbow grease in that.
Yeah,
it's a little
you started
too sad.
TikTok and then home reno.
Oh shit. You're blowing up.
I mean, I'm more
especially
worried
with a guy. My boyfriend has scissors for hands.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's
life.
start this TikTok series where you're married to Edward Scissorhands
or Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
His head is small.
He's rotting.
He's
from
rotting.
the inside out.
Does have a bit of mold.
Yeah. It's a little gamey. it's really a practical consideration with Edward Scissorhands because I feel like there's very like fix me energy that is appealing despite myself about Edward Scissorhands.
Very like teenage crush energy.
Yes.
The sad boy was definitely a fixture for my teenage years. Wanting to fix him,
just wanting to
make
give him love
happy
because he's lonely.
That's so funny. I feel like I was very much the opposite. I wanted that
You're like, get your shit together.
Yeah, I fucking hate a project that I have to do because I get bored too easy. And I'm like, y'all need to be fixed when you get here. But I kind of played more of the like, oh, I'm a damsel in distress, but I'm not. So it's like that was a really hard place to be like, oh, I need fixed and I'm such a damsel, and but I'm also like I was kind of more like wanted to play that card, but it was really hard because I'm actually not that person at all.
That's very surprising to me.
I know, it's like I guess it's part of that like trying to be who you're not.
And trying to be like what you think people find appealing.
What you think people want. And I think that's what I had in my head is that guys want. They want to rescue
you.
A girl.
Oh my God. Do you guys remember being pick-me's?
I was
totally a pick-me.
Look, it was
so
the time. It was the time we grew up in.
Dude, the early 2000s.
Woof.
You had to be. Like, it was just, we didn't know that there was another way. Okay?
Well, and then the thing of it was, too, is that guys, their approach was garbage, too. So, like, their approach was, the whole negging and all that shit. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, women were just pitted against each other in such a bad way. Okay, so I haven't seen The Crow in years. Like it's been over a decade probably since I've seen The Crow. So I need details on his personality because I don't really remember. I remember that movie being very moody. He's hot.
He's so hot.
Super hot.
So I think like people came and murdered him and his family, and he came back from the dead and got revenge.
Oh, I love that shit. I love
this.
I
feel like I need to watch this movie.
I mean, I was right about Magnum P.I.'s butler. So
I just didn't remember his name.
Yeah, listeners, let us know.
Okay, wait.
I don't remember.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's on Showtime right now, just in case you guys want to watch it. The night before his wedding, musician Eric Draven, Brandon Lee, and his fiancée are brutally murdered by members of a violent inner city gang. On the anniversary of their death, Eric rises from the grave and assumes the gothic mantle of the Crow, a supernatural avenger, tracking down the thugs responsible for the crimes and mercilessly murdering them. Eric eventually confronts head gangster Top Dollar to complete his macabre mission.
So you have Sad Boy, just plain Sad Boy with Edward Scissorhands. You have Angry Boy with The Crow, and then you got Chaos Boy.
Oh my God,
with
Beetlejuice.
I'm gonna say it. I don't think any of them are actually great marriage candidates.
No. None of them are good, but I'm definitely gonna marry The Crow.
I mean, The Crow will come back from the dead to avenge you, which is inherently sexy. Yeah,
it's all I've ever wanted.
It is sexy. That's the kind of devotion. It's the kind of devotion you expect.
I was expecting exactly.
You come back from the dead.
I feel like Chris would consider it, but at the same time, he's like, I'm tie.
But yeah, I think that he'd be okay with just being like,
it's fine.
We're done now.
On to the next.
Yeah. Brandon Lee is so hot.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, I Pikachu's him. I'm marrying The Crow.
Okay.
And then I'm
all right. Who you fucking? Dude, you can't let that guy near the... No. But he could cut like cool designs. Speaking of, like, you wouldn't need the laser. He could keep that
good
shit.
Control over it. I feel like
I still don't want that to happen. I feel like I'm all good.
I feel like you'd have to be on top with Edward Scissorhands. It's like on top,
which is fine with me.
Your arms got to be like
far away.
I'm happy to be on top.
And I'll tell you what, if he can't use his hands, I'll bet you he can use his.
He can do other things, and he would.
He would use. He would. But I feel like he would cry after we're done, and I don't think I can deal with that.
He might.
Yeah, that's true.
I do have concerns about Beetlejuice's scent. That he might bring.
He's falling apart. He's dead in a not sexy
going
way.
To see like the gyno after that.
Oh, they're like, what? You have mold down here.
I hate all of that.
Like, you're mildewing. This is gross. I do feel like my gynecologist would be like, Like she
So-
would
I
say
usually
something.
don't say-
Yeah, I usually don't comment. But and we will wait for your pap smear results to come back. But in the meantime, maybe like some antifungal medication.
Here's a Z-Pack.
Z-Pack. Oh shit. Just in case. Just in case.
He has mold around his mouth. If he used his mouth on you, and those teeth, bro, those
Okay.
teeth.
It's I gotta fuck Edward Scissorhands. As much as it's so unappealing to me, the thought of fucking Beetlejuice is just.
Also, that energy would be so
I'm not
chaotic.
gonna lie. I don't know if I'm gonna have sex for another week now. Just thinking, knowing that's in my fucking brain.
Ruined.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. This is a struggle for me. I really had a crush on Beetlejuice when I was a kid. I don't know why. It's not the mold, obviously. It was just the energy and the attitude.
Yeah.
And
That,
He was
don't
Mr. Fun Guy.
Don't give a fuck attitude
yeah,
to
it was
chaos.
really,
in that way. Yeah.
Because at that time, I gave all the fucks.
Right.
I gave too many fucks. And so I was like, that's...
Brandon Lee probably also gives too many fucks. The Crow gives too many fucks.
Yeah.
Too.
I feel like for you, there might be too many fucks given.
Right. This is really hard for me. But yeah, I think now in my grown-up brain, you do have to give some fucks.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, you
At
do.
least a little bit.
Yeah,
A
you
little
do.
bit.
Like just to exist in the world.
It's hard for me because I feel like Edward Scissorhands, and maybe it's just because I haven't seen it since I was like a kid. I just feel like he was so mute and non.
Yeah, it wouldn't be interesting to me, so I can't marry him either.
Right.
But then also, I'm just like,
But could
the
you
Crow,
marry the Crow?
I'm like,
so intense.
intense. Yeah. And also, I'm
He's
just
a
like,
musician.
yeah, exactly. And also, it's just like, bro, like, that revengeful kind of thing is not my vibe. I'm like, just get over it.
Chill
like,
out.
chill out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that.
For me, my eyes
It's
glowed.
not that
I was
big of a
like,
deal. So I'm really
It's not
struggling.
that big of a deal that
As
I got
the-
murdered by an inner city gang.
as the Aries here, I'm like, oh, that's hot.
I'm like, I'm off in the stars now. Like, we don't need to go back to dumb old Earth, like, and do a crime or whatever. I'm like, just get over it. So, I think I'm going to marry Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I think I am. I think
I
that's
see this
the
for you
best
because in the
choice for me.
afterlife, that's the kind of fun you want to have.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
murder.
just kind of pranking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not even like, I hate pranks, but they're all pretty, like it's pretty, it's all fun.
Yeah.
Funsies.
Yeah.
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 All fun and games till your head shrinks.
Exactly. So I'm going to marry Beetlejuice. And then
I know.
You gotta fuck the Crow.
you gotta
if
fuck-
you
you're
have,
gonna-
if
you're
these are
gonna
your
fuck-
options.
You're going to fuck the Crow. Come
Right?
on.
Why wouldn't you?
I think I'm going to fuck Edward
Oh,
Scissorhands.
really?
Is it just like curiosity?
It's curious. I think what that mouth do. I need to
Yeah.
know. I need to know.
Okay.
Probably good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, think
I feel
so.
positively about that. I feel like also he is
I'm ready to be surprised.
he's naive enough. Like he's trainable.
And it's always the quiet ones that really
dum-dum,
surprise
though.
you.
That's
He
the thing.
dum-dum.
He is. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's just so naive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to
really hard
yeah.
for
do.
me.
I want to do bad things
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to break him.
Yeah.
This is not
I
ideal. This is not ideal. None
It's
of
a tough
these
one.
people are people I would want to marry. Like,
No.
at all. Ooh. I get energy from the Crow that like he's going to avenge you. He's the kind of guy who like will avenge you, but also won't pay attention to you.
But also, yeah, what was he like
Right.
in life when, like, before he
wanna
got
watch this
married?
movie now.
If he was the type of person that would will his body back to life a year after you were murdered,
What was it like being
in
in a relationship with that person?
right?
Yeah.
That's intense.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I don't.
I need to watch this movie again.
Me
It's been
too.
way too
Me
long.
too.
It has just for the soundtrack alone.
Yeah, truly.
Oh
It's tough.
boy.
This is a tough one.
It's really tough because I really feel like I would get exhausted with Beetlejuice. at
Yeah.
some
You
point.
would. Oh
I'd
my
just
God.
be like, oh my fucking God. Because I don't love pranks. And like,
No.
even though it's all pretty like funny, I would be just like, I would be like, can we just fucking take a nap?
of the people here, of the people here, you're the one who can marry Edward Scissorhands. I see it.
Oh, that's going to be
sad boy?
I mean,
is he a Pisces himself?
Yeah,
That's the question.
Definitely.
Pisces.
He's
Yeah,
got,
sure.
Did I marry the Aries of the group?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Yeah, he's got, but Castle.
Yeah.
So, and also, I feel like he would be devoted to you.
Oh, for sure.
100.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just get him some books, train him up.
I feel like I'm gonna have to be the grown. If I married Beetlejuice or Edward Scissorhands, I'm
You're
gonna
the
have to be the
grown up.
Like I have to be the grown up
see,
in that situation.
that's exactly
But if you marry the Crow, it's like
I'm tired.
How many bar
I'm
fights
tired.
are you getting
Okay,
into?
here's the thing.
Yeah.
My ass is like,
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I don't have the energy to be married to Beetlejuice or the Crow. Like I
Yeah.
just don't have the energy for it. I am too tired. Edward Scissorhands will let me rest.
Yes,
Yeah,
he will.
he will.
So I'm gonna marry him.
He's going to let you have a nice little book nook
Yes.
in his
Yes.
castle. You're going to have a nice little library that you built for
Absolutely.
yourself.
He's
Totally.
very, very creative soul too.
He'll help me in the
I do like that.
kitchen. He will help me in the kitchen. Like he'll chop up all the vegetables.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he
prep
owns-
work never.
He owns his own home. You
Yeah,
guys.
true. Homeowner, big plus.
Huge.
Big plus.
That's
This
a big
day and
deal
age,
these
Yeah,
days.
it's a big
In
deal.
this economy,
It's a big deal.
shit.
Yeah.
Sold.
Sold. Absolutely. I'm going to marry Edward Scissorhands.
There you go.
It was a dream of mine whenever I was younger. Like, I think we can work around the hands.
Yes.
Maybe we can wrap. If I feel like things are maybe going to get a little out of hand, we could wrap it up in bubble wrap.
Advances in science.
That's exactly right.
You can get.
I think you at
prosthetics.
least keep one hand though, because of all the other handicrafty things he can do.
I think he would also miss all of the what is it called whenever you make sculptures out of bushes? Topiary.
Topiary.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
He
well
loves that
done,
shit.
ladies.
He loves it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take that from him.
Right.
Right.
That's his hobby. And I love that for him. So yes, we're gonna have a beautiful castle. I will do the renovations. I feel good about it. I'm going to fuck the Crow
Yeah. I
because
mean, he's hot.
and that intensity
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
in
good
the-
for an evening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
It's good for a night. He is the kind of person who I would have to delete his number out of my phone immediately
yeah.
afterwards because otherwise I would
Yeah.
come back and
From the dead.
regret it. Come back from the dead and regret it in the worst way.
Zombie.
Yeah. So I simply must delete his number
Yeah.
from my phone. And no offense to Beetlejuice.
Of course.
I
Listen.
actually love that movie. But
Great movie.
and Michael Keaton, we talked about it last week. Great.
Perfection.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm trying to be zen these days. And I can't do it.
It is not going to produce Zen.
No.
No.
It will not.
No.
Oh man.
I feel good about our choices.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we made the right choices for us. It
I
was
agree.
Really difficult.
It was.
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
hard.
But
It's
we
a
did
tough
our
one.
best. We did our best.
That's all we do, right?
all we can
Everybody's
do.
just doing the best they can with the fucking shit that they've got.
This,
right? That's right. That's all.
This year, just look. We
listen.
are all just surviving, however we can.
That's
all
right.
right.
Doing the best I can.
All right. There's like weird astrology things happening right now. That's like this hasn't happened in 80 years, and I'm like, great.
I know.
I'm glad to be alive for
Honestly.
it.
Oh
Wonderful.
my gosh. And the world is falling apart. If any of our listeners from Hawaii are listening,
Oh my God.
just our hearts,
know.
Yeah.
thoughts and everything are just with you guys right now.
Yeah.
I know
It's
my
terrible.
friend was there with his daughter.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's insane, man.
Yeah.
The things, this world is insane.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard out there. Everybody take care of yourselves.
Oh, exactly.
We do have a new patron, so I want to give a big worsty welcome to Heather McCallum. Thank you so
Hey.
much for joining us on Patreon. We really, really, really couldn't do it without all of you patrons.
Yeah.
It means the world to us that you like us enough to want to stick around and support us in that way. So thank you so much, Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, on that note too, of course, we really appreciate patron supporters, but if you want to support us in other ways, of course, you can always leave a nice review for us on our Apple page. I think Spotify too now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about.
And I do want to emphasize that because we actually have kind of like a work thing that we're doing here soon. And it would really help us out if we got a bunch of positive reviews on Apple, especially just because we are going to be promoting the podcast to a bunch of people. And, that always just
Yeah, looks good.
Looks good. So if you haven't done so already, that would help us out tremendously. But, you know, we also just love that you tune in and you listen every week. So
yeah. And tell a friend.
Yeah.
5 friends. 5 friends.
Wow,
Tell 5 friends.
It's like a homework assignment.
Get
It's an
your
MLM.
My Worst Date downline. Exactly. Get your downline.
And then those friends
Hashtag girl boss.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right, I'm going to need to see your numbers at the end of this week. Okay.
Oh, no. We're going to have a call later.
Okay. You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yes. And we're back. Okay. So this story is just weird.
Amazing.
It's just
Good intro.
weird.
Love
I'm
it.
just interested to see what you guys have to say about it. Okay. A girl that I went out on a first date in high school with let me into her parents' house after the date.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's exciting. First date in high school. You get brought home. Okay. I sat down in the living room on the sofa and she told me I didn't look comfortable. She knelt down and untied my dress shoes and pulled them off. I sighed and wiggled my socked toes as she began to lightly massage them.
Oh, okay. I was giving foot rubs
Right?
in high school.
In high school.
High school boy feet.
Ew.
is
In
a
dress
no.
shoes. So, you know, they're
Fucking
like
no for me.
sweaty. I was surprised when she peeled my socks off and massaged my bare feet and even began to kiss my bare toes.
What is happening? In high school?
I have too vivid of an imagination for this story. I can't. It's so awful.
Like, and you're not expecting it either. So it's not even like your feet are like super. You weren't expecting like someone to put your feet in their mouth, right?
Nobody expects the Spanish
No.
Inquisition.
No. And also, I'm just like, this is like, you know, I think about my high school moves and I'm like,
that's not
I
it.
never went for the feet.
And it's
Somebody's dad had a foot fetish, and that was the only porn in the house. They accidentally ran
Like,
into
men
it.
like this.
They were like, men like this.
men
shit.
like this. They
And
like when I
you're
gently caress and
exactly
kiss
right.
their toes. It's disgusting.
Sweating, you guys. This is so gross.
Just then, her parents came walking in the front door and surprised us. She dropped my bare foot and ran upstairs crying.
What?
Her mom followed her.
That's not a dick.
And, well, but clearly
it's not
she
great.
was...
I don't
like,
love
It's
it.
very intimate. If you walked in on some chick giving
walked in-
Dylan a fucking foot job,
And not just, kissing his feet. If
would
I walked in
puke.
on my daughter
I would puke.
kissing some teenage boy's foot.
oh my god,
I would-
oh my
I
god,
would-
I
what do you
got questions.
I went
do?
back
I got
to my
questions.
What do you do?
I'd be like,
No shame. Like, listen,
you're
but-
just exploring your
that
sexuality.
my whole I would never I love to say things and think about them after the fact. The way that I would be like, what the fuck? That's so gross. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, as long as you're consenting,
yeah,
and everybody loves
you're not
this.
hurting anybody.
I know. Oh my god.
except your mother.
Her mom followed her upstairs, but her dad just stared at me as I quickly tried to find and gather my socks and dress shoes. I apologized as I scooped them in my hands and ran out the front door still barefoot. What an odd situation. Because it is like
Shoot
they
me.
walked in on you having sex.
But they
But
They
did
did
it.
it. But it's like,
But their
it's a very
reaction to it is
intimate.
like... Their reaction to it would make me way more sus
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
like walking in on the situation. Because I'm like,
yeah.
Is this the first time?
what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you going
What's
on?
happening in here?
The way this reminds me though of like what is Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
I would be tickling or nothing.
Yeah.
It took almost a month before she was allowed to date again.
She got grounded.
I was nervous when I had to pick her up at her house. I bet you were. Her dad, of course, answered the door and laughingly yelled to her daughter that Sweet Feet was here.
Sweet feet.
Dads are fucking hilarious.
Dads
are funny.
nail it, dude.
I was dressed casual this time and wearing sneakers on my feet. He invited me in
cleanest
to
feet
wait.
he's ever
He invited me in to wait, but told me I had to take my shoes off. I smiled and towed them off with my shoed feet and left my shoes on the porch. My ankle socks came halfway off, so I slipped them off too and walked inside barefoot.
Oh no.
As I waited for my date in the living room, I nervously dug my bare toes into her carpet. Her mom came downstairs and told me she was almost ready. She looked down at my bare feet and smiled, saying that I had cute tan feet.
No.
What is happening in this family?
What is happening?
It's a whole family.
Run.
It's a whole family. It's a family affair.
Whoa.
I blushed as my date came downstairs. She was surprised that I was barefoot and asked why. I mentioned that her dad told me to take my shoes off before coming inside, but my socks came off as well. Everyone laughed. I ended up wearing some flops around in the car since my date insisted I stay barefoot to show off my sweet feet. What's going on?
Oh my God. What in the get out is happening?
That's a lot.
Why is the mom comment after she knows how the position she found you guys in for her to be like, oh, you have cute feet is fucking weird.
It's so awkward.
No.
What's happening?
I hate it.
Dude, and like so many years later, like at Thanksgiving, the dad's going to bring up
Sweet feet.
What's up, sweet feet?
Yep. Oh my God.
No.
Fucking weird.
God. I hate everything about
And
that
listen,
story.
again,
I'm not
trying to like yuck your yum.
No,
like,
it
if feet is your thing, that's fine. It's just this situation is strange.
so awkward.
Like,
it's so awkward.
it's awkward.
It's not even about those two and whatever they want to do with their feet. It's about like the whole family seemingly having a fetish with his feet.
Right. And like, why did the dad make you take the shoes off?
It doesn't feel like that was a thing.
Yeah,
don't
unless
think
he
it
was
was.
trying to like make him uncomfortable or be silly or something.
I don't know. It's so awkward.
It's so awkward.
We're meeting at the place. I'm not coming to your house.
No.
I'm actually,
And then you have to wear flip-flops around for the rest
The
of the
date
day.
wants to see your toesies.
No.
Amazing.
That's private. That's for us only.
We don't talk about that in public. Okay. I think that this is funny, but we'll see.
Okay. What if we're just like, no.
Okay. I've only had one date, and it was my best and worst. We've been.
I mean, I guess that's how it happens.
It would be, yeah. You've only had the one.
Yep.
You were correct.
We'd been friends for months, but I'd never met his family. The day after we started officially dating, we walked to his house. We were 16, so I could meet his family. I am very, 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 very reserved, introverted, and shy.
Aww.
So when I walked through the door of his massive house, I was greeted by about 20 staring family members.
No.
I instantly cringed so hard, I almost turned myself inside out.
Yep.
I froze on the spot, had a death grip on my handbag, and stared at the floor.
I'm not even introverted.
No.
Like highly introverted, and I wouldn't like that. That's so much pressure.
That's a lot.
That's
and
too many.
You know there's a 16-year-old girl coming to your house and that you guys all decide to come out?
For Josh's first girlfriend, you know, like that kind of thing. It's like mom and dad. That's it. Maybe a sibling or two. That's enough for someone that's obvious. Like, and you know your girlfriend too. Apparently, I don't know, 16.
Yeah.
So the word had spread that he had a girlfriend that he really liked. So everyone wanted to come meet me. It was
okay. Well, we don't get what we want all the time. Somebody should have told him no.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
It was intended to be friendly and welcoming. Nobody had any reason to think I'd be too frozen with panic to speak because they had a highly social and close-knit family life. He had to shoo everybody out of the room while at the same time they were innocently trying to put me at ease by side hugging me.
No. That's not helping.
Patting my arm.
Touching me isn't helping.
Making, we didn't expect you to be so pretty comments and offering drinks.
Also, what the fuck does that mean? I feel like that's a backhanded. Josh, poor Josh, is like, what do you?
Oh, I didn't expect him to find somebody so pretty since he's such a fucking piece of shit.
Right?
Also, just like all people like touching you,
I don't like it.
commenting on
It's
stuff.
too
I'm
much.
like, oh my God.
No.
Too much.
The ultimate horror was
It's
still
too much
to
for
come.
me, and I'm a fucking extrovert.
Right.
I love people.
I was invited to dinner, which had been specially prepared in celebration of meeting me. I had the place of honor at head of the table, where everyone gently tried to make me feel welcome by including me in conversation. My contribution consisted of an unnecessarily loud announcement of "I like dogs" into total silence.
Oh, sweetie, she's just trying so hard.
Just sitting.
I like dogs.
I like dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Me too.
My boyfriend said I wasn't feeling well and hurried me away. And then had to go back and tell everybody to just leave me alone, prompting a lot of awkward, "Doesn't she like us?" with people then seeking me out to ask me if I wanted them to leave them alone.
Whoa.
So awkward.
You're making it so much worse.
I know.
Do you want us to leave you alone?
Oh.
Do you not like me?
Do you not like us? No. Do you want me to leave you alone?
I would be so uncomfortable.
Do you want me to leave you alone is never something you should ever... If you feel like you have to say that to somebody, just
Just
let
leave
it
them
die
alone.
inside.
Yes. Just leave them alone.
Let it die inside of you and never bring it up.
Yep, exactly. This was repeated almost every day, except they wanted me to feel comfortable so badly that they avoided me entirely to give me the option of approaching when I was relaxed, which made it worse.
They fumbled this entire situation because, like, I mean, they seem like nice, well-meaning people. They're trying,
hard. Yeah.
but like they fumbled it so bad,
So bad.
Like,
I like dogs. Despite this, we've been together for over 10 years. I finally relaxed little by little, and I can walk into a room of strangers with only a little anxiety. It's now a tradition to yell, "I like dogs," into silence at parties.
Amazing. I
Which
love
is
this.
followed by everyone's individual story of the day he brought home the quiet little dog girl.
Oh, that's so sad. That turned out really
it's a sweet ending, and it's a nice story because it's like they fumbled that entire situation, but they do seem like nice people.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like they care about like their family people. They care about Josh's.
Yeah, they're like the big, loud, boisterous
Yeah.
family, and she's like quiet and shy and stuff like that. I like dogs. I can relate.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's well, poor babies. But 10 years later, that's a solid recovery.
Yeah.
All right. So my story starts out most embarrassing date story. It's a doozy. Prepare yourself.
Okay.
It's also a bit long, so bear with me. So after 2 weeks of me, 33 female, dating a guy I'll call Tom, 29, just 2 weeks after they started dating, I had a 1 week off from work. The connection was so extraordinary between us that we decided to take a week off. He decided to take a week off as well to go on vacation together. Pretty fast, I admit, but hey, when you know, you know.
How long was it? A week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks into their relationship, so this is their third week together.
So you're gonna take
a week vacation.
A week long vacation. So
That's make or break, man.
a vacation that is
out.
half the length of your relationship.
Yes.
Keegan says no.
I mean,
I would take a vacation that was half the length of my relationship. That'd be like, what, 9 years?
yeah.
I'm happy to take a 9-year vacation.
I think maybe if you really feeling the person and it's been 2 weeks, a weekend.
That's what I was going to say
Right?
too.
A weekend trip.
Yeah.
She said, you know, you know. Okay.
All right.
I don't even like myself after a week. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Traveling with people is hard.
It's really hard.
Traveling with people you like and know well is hard.
Correct.
Like-
That's how I feel.
So a week. All right. Go with God.
A weekend is perfect because you just do a lot of fucking, a lot of eating, and then you go home.
Right. Yeah. And you can also plan activities that you can take or leave, but like have them planned for a weekend. You can do that.
Yeah.
There's no avoiding like downtime and shit if it's a week.
You got to do the airport.
Our first day, we explored a quaint coastal town, ate a lot, laughed a ton, made out like teenagers every few minutes. As night fell, we needed to look for his car to return to the Airbnb, but we couldn't remember where we parked. I thought I'd saved it on the GPS location, but after following it, no avail. After 20 minutes of walking and endless chatter,
That I have to say, because I experienced it recently, that panic that sets in when you cannot find your car.
somebody
Yeah,
it's
and you're
stolen
like, did it
or
get towed?
Yeah, like what happened? Because I went to an Angel Olsen concert with Christina this week, and she drove me. She was gonna like drop me off at my car, and I was like, I know it's on like Gower in Santa Monica, like it's on Gower, like by Santa Monica, and like went over there. I was like, what? I was like, where is it? Like, where is it? It was on the other side of Santa Monica.
Oh, no.
But because I was like, I know it was here. I know it was here. Where is it? But that panic that starts to set in, it's like, this is my life now. I'm stuck out. I'm stuck out here.
Yeah, email it, just drop me off because I live here now. Because I don't have a car anymore.
Oh my God.
Like she would drop you off. Like, all right, see ya.
Bye.
Good luck.
Hitchhike home, I guess. See you later.
After endless chatter, there came a stomach gurgle, which silenced me immediately. Not just a regular stomach sound. Oh no, my friends. This is more of a war cry. What's that first?
We've all experienced that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're like, uh-oh.
Released. The others followed suit, and my stomach began to feel very much out of sorts. War had been declared.
Oh, God.
I felt an accompanying wave of nausea and instantly regretted all the rich chocolate pastries I had inhaled earlier.
Oh, no.
Feeling humbled, I fell silent because I knew from experience that if I were to awaken the sleeping dragon, all hell would break loose.
Oh, yeah.
And with handsome Tom next to me, that could not happen.
Yeah, you really just gotta like mind over matter your way through that, where you're just like, everything's fine, nothing's happening.
Right.
You gotta tell your brain like nothing's going on. You're fine.
Don't even acknowledge it. It's not there.
It's not happening.
I continued silently while he was animatedly telling me a story. I threw in the occasional, oh my God, really?
She's just holding her butthole tight,
Just
so
throw him
tight.
off from figuring out that there was something very, very wrong and started to feel cold. It was about,
no.
Dude, when you feel cold, you're shitting. You are going to shit. Shit is going to happen.
It's going to happen sooner than you want.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
As if on cue for the chaos that was about to ensue, it began to rain. Not like just slight drizzle. No, torrential rain.
Sometimes.
Like cats and dogs type rain.
When it all goes wrong.
The wind began to howl. No joke. I swear.
What did you do to piss off the heavens?
The FX team above was playing me hard. I remember thinking, are you fucking kidding me? Here I am in the middle of nowhere in a storm with all the shops and restaurants closed for the day and a hot stud on my side and explosive diarrhea about to spray out of my butthole. I thought to myself, this is it. This is how I die. Oh, cruel, cruel life. Oh, cruel, cruel life. And at that moment, Tom looked at me and said, you're awfully quiet all of a sudden, gorgeous.
Oh, babe.
And you take his face in your hands and you're like, Tom,
babe,
something's about to
Whatever
happen.
happens next,
I
just
want
know.
you to know.
I really enjoyed this date.
I really enjoyed
like you a
this
lot.
time with you. You're about to see something you cannot unsee.
Look away.
The rain hid the beads of sweat that had accumulated from my tightly squeezed sphincter muscle.
Yeah, that's right.
Silently screaming to my body that it was not yet time to release the Kraken. Let's hurry so we could get out of this mess and warm cozy at home.
Trying to walk fast when you're clenching.
Oh no! I mean, it's obvious. It's the poop walk. You can see. You can see when something. You're like, ooh, that person's got a shit.
Yep. I say that now every time I hear like a really loud car go by, and they're like, wah, wah. I'm like, they got a shit.
They're getting home.
They got to get a shit. I then stopped, looking him dead in the eye, and responded through semi-clenched teeth. I can't walk fast right now. In fact, I can't really walk at all. Y'all, at this point, I revealed the rumbles in my tummy to him. I was too far gone to be embarrassed. I was in survival mode.
Yeah.
Death by diarrhea was not going to be written on my tombstone.
I love whenever the pride just leaves the room, where you're just like,
this is where we're at.
I can't play it cool.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. There is no more cool to be played here.
Yep.
The only thing that prevented me from releasing myself there and then was that Tom's presence, as well as the fact that I was freezing and had several layers on. And I would not allow myself to be covered in poop stains. Not today, Satan. I rebuke thee.
Oh my God.
People, this is when I knew this one was a special one. The man immediately had a plan. He walked me to a closed shop to shelter underneath, like the awning, near a traffic light. He said he'd search for his car. His phone had died, so he asked for mine and took a video of where I was to be able to find me back if necessary. He then kissed me on my forehead and said he'd be back soon, and that if I had to poop on the pavement, to just do it.
Okay.
All right.
He's like,
All
there were
right.
cars driving.
Handsome Tom.
He's got some
Like,
points.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. It's raining. I feel like maybe you can get cleaned up a little bit. Right?
Booty up.
I sat in
Ass
front
up.
of the closed shop window. Sitting was a lot better than standing, easier for my overworked sphincter muscle, and was shivering from the cold and desperate need to release the poison from my bowels.
Mm-hmm.
After what felt like an eternity, his red car honked and pulled up on the curb, and the man got out in the pouring rain to get me, opened the door, and I hobbled. Yes, I swooned, despite the fact that I was low-key dying.
Yeah, this is a rom-com.
Yeah.
About shit.
About shit.
This is a real one too.
Yeah.
This is
a
really
real one.
romantic.
Guys, I almost didn't make it back to our Airbnb. The grimaces, moans, and facial expressions were very unsexy.
I mean, listen, whatever you have to do to keep from shitting, because shitting is the worst thing that could happen.
Yes.
Everything else is
In
just
the
like,
car?
you
Yeah.
just got to do what you got to do. If you need to let out some moans and groans,
She says, unless you're into that, different strokes for different folks, yo.
Yeah, there you
At one point, Tom turns to me and took my hand and said gently, if you need to poop in your pants in the car, you can. I have my dog's towel in the back. It's covered in white dog hair, but who cares? Y'all, if this ain't the one, I give up on love.
No, seriously. That is
so understanding.
yeah.
With every fiber of my being and my body, I willed myself not to give in to the demands of my bowels. On this first day of vacation with this amazing man, finally, we get up to the Airbnb. He ended up having to carry me in. And as I sat on the toilet, after forcing him to go outside and listen to music with
That's
headphones
right.
on,
Go back into the rain. Go sit in the car. Actually,
somewhere else.
just go sit in the car.
put music in your headphones.
I'll text you when you can come back in.
Yeah.
I need you to listen to Beyonce's Renaissance.
The entire
all
T
the
to
way
B.
T to B, because not
And then
only
you can come
do I
in.
need to shit, I need to air out this place before you're allowed to come back in here. I will not allow our Airbnb to be sullied.
Bye. Oh no.
Oh my God.
I finally released a gasp of simultaneous release and anguish as I gave into the sweet surrender and expelled every iota of demonic waste from hell that was in my bowels.
Yeah.
I stayed on that seat until my legs were nearly numb and I nearly blacked out.
Oh my God.
Oh God. And yes, to all the romantics out there, we are currently in the happiest, healthiest, and most loving relationship. Let's see in a few years. I'll edit this to say we're still together. For now, I'll leave it here for all of you to have a chuckle, since I can more than laugh about it now. Ironically enough, I still can't allow myself to fart around him. Edit.
They're still together.
We recently celebrated our 2-year relationship with a weekend trip to the place of this pose. Happier and more in love than ever. Definitely my person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
That is
We
good.
love it. We love it. Dude, you know, it'll bring you together or you never speak again.
That's right. Or you
We've-
move to another country.
We've always said that. That's a good one. If he's like, you shit right here in the
Listen,
car.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Bodies are weird.
Bodies are weird.
Bodies do weird things.
And we've all been there. Everyone knows what that feels like.
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's like your
worst.
insides are being torn up.
I actually felt relieved when she finally did sit on the toilet. I felt like that same feeling of when you just,
Thank God.
thank God. I
The
made it.
panic is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Because you're sweating until that point.
Yeah.
Literally droplets of sweat.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys want to take 5 and come back with the Tainted Love?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Cool.
When it comes to personal style, it's not just about having a signature look. There are layers to deciding what to wear. It could be all about bold patterns that stand out in a crowd, accentuating your gains, or finding something sleek yet comfortable. With Indochino, fall is the perfect time to add a few new layers to your wardrobe. They offer custom made-to-measure pieces at an off-the-rack price. And this season, Indochino has new colors, fabrics, and styles to choose from. From classic suits for special occasions to head-turning outerwear for your sidewalk stride. Customize your new fall pieces however you want. Buttons, vents, pockets, lapels, you name it, they'll build it. Just submit your measurements online or book a showroom appointment to work with an Indochino expert style guide in person. Add fresh layers to your fall style with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code PODCAST to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's 10% off at INDOCHINO.com, promo code podcast.
And we're back. Keegan.
Okay. This one, once again, medium coming through because they send me emails direct to my inbox, which is what I need. I need you to come to my home with Tainted Love ideas. Like I am not in a place where I'm trying to like search that shit out. Okay. So I saw this on a Medium article. I couldn't read the entire article. It was like one of those, but it got me interested enough. It gave me enough of a little taste that I was like, I went and did my own research. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was actually very surprised that I'd never heard of this one because it is one of the first, if not like the first major like Hollywood film scandals. And I had never heard of it. So this is the story of Olive Thomas, who I'd never even heard of.
No.
Me either.
Right? Okay. Olivia R. Duffy was born on October 20th, 1894 to James and Rena Duffy. They were Irish immigrants.
Duffy, you don't say.
Yeah. In Pennsylvania. I think it's Charleroi, but I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So don't come for me if I pronounce that wrong. Her father was a steel worker and he passed away when Olive was just 12 years old from an accident. I mean, steel worker.
Yeah.
In the early 1900s.
Yeah.
So not surprising. Dangerous job. And by the time she was 15, she had left school and begun working at Joseph Horne's department store in Pittsburgh to help support her mother and two younger brothers. She earned $2.75 a week.
Wow.
Selling gingham.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I've read varying reports, but it's also likely that she began her modeling career around this time as well, modeling as a nude model for artists.
Oh, okay.
In her teens.
I don't love that.
I don't love it.
I don't love that.
It's just also like early 1900s.
Early
and
1900s
stuff.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
Feed.
I mean,
babies.
In the 2023s, I still kind of feel like you may
Gotta
need to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
No shit.
Ugh.
At the age of 16 in 1911, she married Bernard Krug Thomas. According to coworkers, Olive had big dreams even when she was really young. Her pre-work routine was like on the way to the department store, she would stop by the drugstore and look at all the pictures of the Ziegfeld girls who were on the magazines. And she would tell her coworkers that one day she wanted to be a Ziegfeld girl. Olive was super spirited. She was said to have the face of an angel, but the mouth of a sailor.
Love it.
And her husband struggled to keep her in line, to mold her to his idea of an ideal wife, right? So first of all,
honey,
she's 16.
Yeah.
Okay. So they fought a lot because like, she's just like, she wasn't going to be like compliant. She wasn't super like,
yeah. She's not a homemaker. She wants to be a Ziegfeld girl.
Right. Exactly.
We are from two different generations. This ain't going to line up.
No.
Yep.
Refusing to give up on her dreams of stardom, Olive left her husband 2 years into the marriage and moved to New York City to live with an aunt. Though the couple would never reconcile and would formally divorce later that year, Olive kept her husband's last name of Thomas. In 1931, Bernard Krug Thomas gave an interview to the Pittsburgh Press detailing his marriage to Olive, implying that the cause of the demise of their marriage was her ambition, a desire to obtain a life of luxury and, quote, improve her station.
How fucking
dare she want something different out of her life?
She wants to better her life.
Ugh, can you believe it?
Awful.
Ugh. Not long after she moved to New York, the artist Howard Chandler Christie put on a contest searching for the most beautiful girl in New York. Olive entered the contest and won, which shot her into local fame there in New York City.
Holy shit. Most beautiful girl in the world?
She has very, like...
Listen, you give me that title, you can't
stop me.
You can't talk to me.
She's got, her features are perfect for this time period. Right. Where it's like, she's got like really big eyes, you know, like just like a little mouth, a really like heart-shaped face.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. It's exactly what you think of when you think of like this early film star.
Get it,
like
Olive Thomas.
Curls, you know, she's got like those long Shirley Temple curls.
Oh yeah, she's very pretty.
Yeah, you want to show Cassie. And we'll, of course, we always put pictures on our website and especially for that time period.
Yeah,
it's exactly what the beauty standard was at that time. And the pictures, of course, will always be on our Instagram and on our website. So if you want to see. So she won that contest, and then she started working with various artists around the city as a model. She continued nude modeling. There's actually a really great, and I'll show it to you guys later, but there's a really great painting of her in the nude that she did around this time. But she was still working with artists, and she also began to appear on magazine covers and soon caught the eye of Florenz Ziegfeld Jr., and he was taken with Olive, right, and wanted to make her his mistress. Olive agreed, but told Ziegfeld that she really wanted to be one of his girls. Like, this was her dream all her life. So I don't know that it was like solely transactional, but it was kind of a thing that was like, sure, I'll give you what you want. You give me what I want.
There you go.
Pro quo.
Exactly.
Yes.
Listen.
So he obliged, and soon Olive was working as a dancer, making her stage debut in the Ziegfeld Follies of 1915. She was soon cast in Ziegfeld's more risque Midnight Frolic show.
We will.
Yeah.
Okay.
The frolic was staged after hours.
After hours.
Yeah, after dark, Ziegfeld After Dark. And was primarily a show for famous male patrons who wanted a more up-close and personal experience with the dancers. So one of, you are going to fucking hate this, Cassie.
Oh, I can't
one
wait.
of Olive's acts, and there was a picture of her, was to walk around the rooftop, because it took place on a rooftop, in a dress that had dozens of balloons attached to it.
No.
That the men would pop with their cigars.
Sir, please, no. No.
Yeah. The men who frequented the frolic were almost exclusively wealthy, and they showered Olive with gifts. It was rumored that a German ambassador, Albrecht von Bernstorff, had given her a $10,000 string of pearls.
Holy
like
smokes.
She was getting gifts.
$10,000 in
1915
money?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's like 1.2
And I'm the most
million
beautiful
now.
woman in the world.
In New York, yeah. At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
She also captivated audiences on Broadway at the time, with one New York Tribune reviewer saying, quote, "To know Olive Thomas personally is like being on friendly terms with an angel."
Okay.
Wow.
Listen.
She had Riz.
I cannot get those kind of compliments.
I couldn't. The way that I would be insufferable.
Yes.
I'm
Totally.
I'm barely
The
lookable.
ego
But
on my
ego. My ego is so strong for somebody who is barely. Can you imagine if somebody told me I was the most beautiful woman in the world?
I'd use it
Keep
for
saying
evil.
New York, but
I
in the-
have
oh,
to
I-
say, I think I would use that
If
for evil.
I ruled the world.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, her charisma must have been off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
You know. Ziegfeld was married to actress Billie Burke at the time, most famous for her role as Glinda the Good Witch in The Wizard of Oz. Olive wanted him to leave Billie for her, but when he refused, she eventually decided to end the affair and leave the Follies. Fortunately for Olive, though, she always wanted to be a Ziegfeld girl, but she checked that off her list. She did it.
Like,
Been there, done that.
Next up.
And fortunately for her, around this time, she caught the eye of a Hollywood film director and signed with the International Film Company. Her acting debut was an episode of the film serial Beatrice Fairfax called Playbill. And after that, she starred in A Girl Like That before signing an exclusive contract with Triangle Pictures. In 1916, Olive met Jack Pickford, a fellow actor and brother to one of the most successful and famous silent film stars
Mary
at the time.
Pickford.
Yeah.
Mary Pickford. And they met on the Santa Monica Pier.
Wow.
The two fell instantly, hard and fast for each other. They eloped just months after meeting. Olive kept the relationship quiet for as long as she could and chose not to take the Pickford name for fear that she would be perceived as trying to ride her sister-in-law's coattails.
Right. Yeah.
So they kept the relationship under wraps for quite a while. Sometimes when you look at old pictures, people look a lot older than they are. You know, like you'll see pictures of the young people and you'll be like, oh, that person looks, 40, even though they're like 20. Not the case with Olive and Jack. Let me show you. Because when they got married, Olive was only 22 and Jack was only 20. He was 2 years younger. And you can see, look how young they look. They look like little babies.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, they look young.
Yeah.
Both Olive and Jack were known to be heavy partiers. Again, they're 22 and 22.
Yeah.
Often frequenting popular Hollywood nightclubs. Screenwriter Frances Marion remarked, quote, "I have seen her often at the Pickford home. She was engaged to Mary's brother, Jack, 2 innocent-looking children. They were the gayest, wildest brats who ever stirred the stardust on Broadway."
That's
Isn't
awesome.
that a great turn of
Amazing.
phrase?
Wait, again, all these compliments?
Yes.
Insufferable.
Both were talented, but they were much more interested in playing the roulette of life than in concentrating on their careers.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both drank heavily, and the relationship was tumultuous. The couple fought constantly and loudly and would always make up lavishly, with Jack often showering Olive with gifts, like makeup gifts, right? Mary Pickford would later write in her autobiography that no one in the family approved of the match and did not attend the wedding. Her parents thought Jack was too young, and Olive enjoyed the attention she received from men a little too much, right? So she did have like a little bit, but duh.
Yeah.
She's 22.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same.
But
Same girl.
She does talk about how legendary Ollie's beauty was, saying that she had, quote, "the loveliest violet blue eyes I have ever seen," but said of the relationship, quote, "she and Jack were madly in love with one another, but I always thought of them as a couple of children playing together."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
Too
playing
young.
house.
Yeah.
You know, they're too young. Olive's career continued to climb, but Jack's began to fizzle out, causing further tension in the relationship. Olive made considerably more money than Jack, and the press soon began to refer to Olive as everybody's sweetheart, which may have increased tensions between Olive and her sister-in-law, Mary, who by this time was well known as America's sweetheart. So you have America's sweetheart and everybody's sweetheart. They're kind of going by these names. But it also could just have been the press trying to pit them against each other. Because they knew they had a connection, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In 1920, the relationship between Olive and Jack was stormy at best. The two were drinking, partying, and fighting constantly. In an effort to revive their marriage, they decided to take a second honeymoon to Paris.
They didn't decide to have a baby?
No, they never had kids, but she did, that same year in 1920, they did formally adopt her nephew, so one of her brother's children.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened with that. That was just something that was like passing in one of the articles, and I was like, oh, okay, well, there you go. So they decided to take this second honeymoon in Paris. And while there, they spent a considerable amount of time, of course, exploring the city's nightlife, frequenting a club called Rat Mort, which is the dead rat, which was a favorite of artists and bohemians at that time. On the early morning of the 5th of September, 1920, Jack and Olive returned home from that club to their suite at the Ritz. According to Jack, he went to go lay down in bed when he heard Olive scream from the bathroom. He ran to her, and again, this is all his account because we don't have anything else to go on. According to him, he hears her scream. He runs and catches her just as she's falling to the ground. She was holding an empty medicine bottle and asked Jack to tell her what was on the bottle. He took the bottle from her and told her that the bottle read poison.
Okay.
Olive had drank an entire bottle of mercury bichloride.
Oh, Jesus.
An entire
What
bottle.
was that doing in the bathroom?
It's a medication that Jack had been secretly taking to treat his syphilis. A condition that he'd been suffering from for the past 2 years.
Yep. Oh, no.
Sir.
Yeah.
Wait, can you not cure that?
I mean, I don't know at
guess
the
maybe not back
time.
then.
I don't know at the time because penicillin hadn't been invented yet.
So it was a topical treatment. So you're not supposed to ingest mercury,
Yeah, 'cause
obviously.
mercury is poison.
Yeah,
but
so it was just to manage the condition, basically. Jack called for an ambulance and attempted to make Olive swallow water in hopes that he could get her to vomit up the medicine. The poison was so corrosive and fast-acting, so within minutes, it began to eat away at her vocal cords.
Oh my
So
God.
she wasn't able to speak within minutes of having drank that poison.
Oh, my God.
Jack thought that he could neutralize the effects of the poison by forcing Olive to swallow egg whites, but to no avail. By the time the ambulance arrived and took Olive to the hospital, the poison had begun to damage her internal organs. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, There was nothing they could do, and the poison slowly ate away at Olive from the inside, destroying her intestines and kidneys.
Oh, that's awful.
It took her 5 days
Oh
to
my
die.
God.
Oh my God.
And she was conscious almost the entire time. She was 25 years old.
Oh my God.
In an initial statement...
I mean, we don't have... But she could have written anything at the time if she's conscious or whatever.
Yeah, but maybe she was just in too much pain. I don't know. He would say later that like she exonerated him, like she was conscious and did that. But I don't know if she couldn't speak at all or if she just couldn't speak well. Like maybe she could still speak some. I'm not entirely sure. But his story changed so many times that it's hard to know.
Well, and again, you'd think that she'd be able to write something down with her hands.
Right.
Or,
and, you know,
I don't know.
whatever
Might have been too
happened,
sick.
they came from drinking, you know, and stuff like that. So who knows, like, who remembers what. And then, also she's in excruciating pain. So,
oh my God.
In an initial statement given to police, Jack said that Olive had thought she had reached for a bottle of aspirin to treat a headache. This didn't make sense to investigators since, 1, aspirin comes in tablet, not liquid form. And 2, even if she was disoriented enough to open and take a swig from the bottle, mercury bichloride is highly noxious, and it would be unlikely that she would down the whole bottle without realizing something was wrong.
Right.
It's like you would take a sip of it and be like, whoa, that's not, it smells, it has a very pungent smell. Like you wouldn't drink the whole bottle. He would later say that it was a sleeping draught, not aspirin that she was reaching for. So a liquid.
Yeah.
And that in the dark, she couldn't read the labels and she got them mixed up. Mm-hmm. So that's what he said. An autopsy was conducted and the death was ruled accidental. However, the press and the public were not so quick to accept this. It was well known that Olive had adjusted her will to make Jack the sole beneficiary, and they speculated that Jack, who made considerably less than his wife, used the inheritance and Olive's insurance payout to pay his gambling debts.
Ooh.
The press also painted the couple as drug abusers that had frequent orgies and thought that perhaps Olive was attempting to take another drug when she mistakenly picked up the bottle of mercury. So they just ran wild with like, these are hard partiers. Like there's nothing to really substantiate that they were like having orgies or doing these things, but it's just like the press just sensationalized this to such a degree that they were like, she was probably trying to take, opium or something, Another theory is that after yet another fight with Jack, perhaps over his infidelities or failure to disclose his syphilis to her, Olive decided to take her own life. But those close to her don't believe this to be the case. Her career was taking off in a big way. Mm-hmm. And that very night, so when they came back from the club, he went to go to bed. She stayed up and wrote a letter to her mom and was like, I'm excited to come home. I'm excited to see you soon. So it didn't feel like someone...
Yeah. Who would be making plans.
Yeah. Still others speculate that Jack tricked Olive into drinking the poison or forced her to drink it in order to cash in on her death. In October of 1920, Jack would sail back to the States with Olive's body where she was entombed in a mausoleum in New York. Jack's career would never recover from what would go on to be considered Hollywood's first big scandal. He would marry 2 more times to 2 other Ziegfeld girls, but would divorce after only a few years of marriage. So his first marriage after Olive lasted 5 years, and then his second marriage lasted 2 years. He would struggle with alcoholism for the rest of his life, getting into trouble with the law on multiple occasions for reckless driving, and even having his license revoked for driving while intoxicated. He would maintain that Olive was the love of his life for the rest of his life. 13 years after Olive's death, on January 3rd, 1933, while in Paris, so he I think was 36 at this time, he was admitted to the hospital due to a nervous breakdown. At 4 p.m. that same day, he passed away. The official report said that the cause of death was a combination of diseases affecting the nerve centers, but most believe that alcohol abuse was the real culprit.
Well, and also, like, the syphilis killed people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, didn't that kill
rots you out.
Fucking Capone or whatever?
I think so.
Yeah, it's around this time because, you can't leave untreated syphilis. Like, it'll fuck your nervous system.
Yeah.
I mean, and at this point, it's like years and years of heavy drinking too.
True.
Yeah, and
Like,
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
It can't help.
Yeah.
No.
But
that is not the cure for syphilis.
no, it is
turns
not.
out.
No.
He did die in the same hospital in Paris in the same wing as Olive Thomas.
Oh,
They died at
wow.
the same place. So
That's wild.
yeah. So
Oh,
that's
man,
that's
I've
the
never heard
story
that.
of Olive Thomas. Me neither. Like she was
No clue.
nearly as famous as Mary Pickford. Not
Wow.
quite,
Yeah.
but like was probably would have been if she had been allowed to, go on
Right.
in her career.
Wow.
But yeah.
That's
wow.
wild.
No, that's wild. I'm going to look up more about that just because
The way I'm about to IMDb her.
I know. I love like early Hollywood.
Yeah, there's like there's not a ton of them because it's like silent era,
Right.
very, very early days, but there are some clips you can find like of her. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so sad. 5 days. Wouldn't wish
Dude, that kind
my
of
worst
death.
enemy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And
but she's very photographed. There's a million pictures of her. Like, there's a lot of pictures of her. And I'll show you when we stop recording, I'll show you the painting because it's great. Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What are you guys watching this week?
Mine's embarrassing. I'll go first.
Mine is too. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have been finishing up my art classes. So I've been finishing up and doing watercolor painting. I'm focused on what I'm painting, so I'm not really focused on what's on the TV. So it's a good time for me to watch something I really not care about.
Okay.
And so I have watched a plethora of Hallmark mysteries,
I love that for you. Great.
and they're all like the same.
Of course, they're formulaic. You know
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what's going to happen.
It's like she writes crossword puzzles and he's a detective.
Who has that job?
She's a photographer. And, there is crossword mysteries, bitch.
Is that the name of a? Is that the name of a movie?
It's like multiple movies, and they're like
Crossword
they're basically like cozy mystery books that have like been turned into
I'm
shows.
gonna watch the shit out of that. That sounds wonderful.
Sounds delightful.
It is. It's
actually.
delightful. It is absolutely perfect for that kind of scenario when you're just like, I want something on that I don't have to pay too much attention to.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's a mystery. It's light. Somebody definitely dies, but they take it very not serious.
It's like Murder, She Wrote, where like
Yeah.
someone was murdered, and we're being like super fucking chill about it.
Seriously,
It's still cozy.
Yes.
What
Matlock. Oh
is
my God. I
happening?
used to fuck with Matlock.
one is like a photographer and the guy is a detective. The other one's like, it's just like, yeah.
So crazy. Well,
Amazing.
yours is definitely not as embarrassing as mine. I can't handle
Twilight.
anything. No, Twilight would be better. I can't handle anything right now. I had like the worst week of my life this week. It was horrible. So I've literally just gotten into, I don't know why YouTube recommended this to me. But they recommended one, and then did I watch 15? Probably. Like videos of pimple extractions.
Oh, Jesus! Wow,
That's what
that
I've
is
been
not
watching.
where. That is not where.
That's what I've been watching.
If you
just wasting
gave me
hours.
56 guesses, I wouldn't have gotten.
just like hours of like watching blackheads get removed from people's faces. Like,
Girl, I love you so much.
It is what
Oh,
it is.
man.
It's where I'm at. Just so
Listen.
you know, it's been a rough time.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta
mentally-
do what you gotta do.
There's
Amen.
something so cathartic about it where I'm just like, it starts out one way, it gets cleaned up. I think it's the same reason people watch like cleaning videos, like power washing videos and things like that.
Oh yeah, of the rugs.
Yes, because I'm just like, it starts off one way. By the end of the video, you feel like
clean.
improvement's been made.
Yep.
She's clean.
and that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Satisfying. It's a satisfaction.
yes.
Well, Eric and I are still spending the majority of our time hanging out at Alberto's.
Did you explain that to everybody last time?
Oh, I don't know if I did.
I feel like you should.
So we bought a house, and like our front porch, for whatever reason, Eric has an ashtray that just says Alberto's on it. So whenever we just sit out front on our front porch, we're like, oh, we're hanging out at Alberto's. So
funny.
It's like the hottest new club in our town.
Could be, honestly, probably.
honestly.
Yeah, honestly. But we started to put together a list of shows that we always wanted to watch, but because there was so much like fucking material coming out, like you get distracted, whatever. So we put on Fargo.
Oh, Yeah.
Which is freaking. I saw the first 2 seasons like way back when. I remember Billy Bob Thornton being fucking incredible, but I forgot how truly incredible he is in that first season.
We had this conversation where we were like, there's something very upsetting about finding Billy Bob Thornton hot.
Yeah. He's really hot.
And it's like, fucking why?
It's why.
Because there's no reason.
No
reason whatsoever.
I think I'm going to avoid watching Fargo just so I don't accidentally fall into that.
Because you look at that man and you're like, no.
But yeah.
What is it? I don't know.
It's the Riz.
It's no.
But yeah, so we've been really enjoying Fargo. So yeah.
I did start watching a new show that actually I've been meaning to tell Anthony about. It's takes place in the Philippines. And it's almost all the characters except for like the one main character are Filipino.
Awesome.
And they film it in the Philippines. And it's all like, I'm like, and I know that he loves that because that's his heritage.
Yeah.
It is called Almost Paradise.
Oh, awesome.
And it's on Amazon. And it's one of those things. It's just like, one-off mysteries.
Yeah,
I'll
tell him.
He's like an ex-DEA agent. It's, it's very...
I bet you'd like that.
Mindless and fun. Yes. But
nice.
Good.
Well, hey, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, or if you just want to say hello, reach out to us at our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.